Dante and Page looking live, Woody Page. Isola and McMullen. Hello, Frankie. Hello, Jackie. Today, hot fire from Sean Miller. Buckeye in the NHL. And Wiggins and Gobert once, twice, three times. Oofa! The Gobert report is next.
What's that word?
Nobody dunks on a guy from France 3 times. Does not happen.
Dunk me once, shame on me. Dunk me twice, shame on me. Dunk me thrice, we won't get dunked again. Wiggins in the Stifle Tower in a bit.
It's the first word.
Check out this statement from Major League Baseball Players Association about Kris Bryant. He of the .425 average, 9 home runs, 1,100 OPS. Demotion that is bad for baseball and will be addressed in litigation, bargaining, or both. That sounds like a threat at Dante over service time and all the loopholes around it. And also a case for a player who's not yet a member of the union because he's got no major league experience in a roster. What do you think of this stance from the MLBPA?
Well, litigation, you have to throw that out because this is something that they agreed to as collectively a bargain, so it has to be addressed in the next collective bargaining agreement. But I do think, even though this is something that doesn't affect current union members, if they want to have any type of legacy, if they want to look out for the guys that are up and coming, then you do fight for something like this because this isn't their membership now, but these are guys who will be their members one day, and I would think they want to have the ability to play on opening day if they've earned it through their play in spring.
Woody's shaking his head no. He's laughing. What's up, Woody?
Jay, the veterans are really concerned about the guys in the minor leagues coming up. Not at all. What did the NFL Players Association do when the owners decided they wanted to pay the rookies less coming into the league? It's all about the veterans, and I can promise you, with all the peace they've had in Major League Baseball in their bargaining agreements, I don't think there's any way they're going to even address this issue. It's one of those loopholes that maybe the owners figured out, but the Players Association never realized this was going to happen. But this is just an empty,
Do you think, Woody Page,
threat.
this could lead to a split among players, major leaguers and minor leaguers? Because minor leaguers have no voice here.
Oh, well, anybody that's ever been around Major League Baseball players know this is going to have no effect on them. They don't care. They spit on those minor league players.
Frank Isola, please. Go ahead.
And it's usually tobacco juice that they're spitting. You know, the Major League Baseball Players Association, it's the strongest sports union out there, absolutely. They're just flexing their muscle because they don't really have a leg to stand on here. Just like a veteran that's struggling, say, for instance, CC Sabathia is not going to get sent down because of the rules. Just because Kris Bryant is having this incredible spring, they're well within their right not to bring him up yet. There have been players all throughout baseball history that have a great March. Just like their stats in September, you can't go too crazy over when a guy gets called up. So the Cubs are absolutely in their right. Major League, the union is out of line.
Jackie Mack, how about you?
Well, I wouldn't say the union's out of line, Frank, because eventually Kris Bryant will be a very high-profile member of their union. So I understand why they're making a stand on this, and I understand why they want to have the rule change. J.A. is right, though. It is collectively bargained. Therein lies the biggest issue that you have. I just wonder, Mike Alt is also a member of the union. He's the one that will be playing third base in place of Bryant. So, I mean, aren't you going to fight for his rights as well? To me, I just don't see where this can go until you get till bargaining agreements.
So would you say this is a bad day for baseball like the PA did,
I
Jackie?
just think that's overstated. I think it's overstated.
Adonde?
I think it's a bad day for Chicago
the
Cubs
veterans
fans.
might not have the veterans might not have a vested interest, but the agents have a vested interest in this. So you don't think the likes of Scott Boras are going to be lobbying heavily to get this changed in the next CBA?
And Woody?
No, I don't believe that at all. I think you have a situation here that is unique, that is not worldwide within baseball. Is it a bad day for baseball? Yes, because the kids should be up. You want him to be there. You want the Cubs to be relevant again, and I think they're making a big mistake. They may be doing the proper thing, but it's wrong.
Thank you, Woody. We've been horned, and I see on the screen there the name Tiger, which I know you guys get crazy about. And headline 2 is people of your ilk freaking out about a plane which happened to look like Tiger's Gulfstream G5 being at Augusta Regional Airport. That's all you guys got, a plane in an airport. Woody, what do you make of this?
Well, it could be that he's there for the Krispy Kreme donuts, the green jacket, Restaurant's really good. There's a Crystal Hamburger place right now. So maybe he flew in for that reason on the way to Florida. But I think he's there because he's going to play. I knew he was going to play all along. He always comes back from injuries. He comes back from scandal. He comes back from everything in the world because he has won there 4 times. This is the only way he's going to ever catch Jack Nicklaus, if that's going to happen, is to win at the Masters. Because he can't win at a lot of other places, and so, of course, he's going to play. The last time he came back, Tony, he finished 4th. He can finish 4th on one leg.
All right, so Woody's convinced all he needed
back.
was that Gulfstream parked in the airport. Sola, how about you?
Hey, come on, Tony. This is what we do as reporters. We like to play private investigators when we see these kind of planes. And back in July, when Dan Gilbert's plane landed in Fort Lauderdale, there was a couple of reporters in Cleveland that thought, I wonder if he's there to talk to LeBron. So the plane absolutely means something. And Tiger Woods is all about majors. And obviously, he knows that he's probably not ready right now to play, but he's got to go out there and play. He hasn't played since February 5th. He's played 47 holes, in this calendar year, and he's shooting 15 over par.
So you think that's proof that he has to play? That he hasn't played since February 5th, and he's taken so much. That means he has to play, Jackie? Shaking your head no.
I don't know. I haven't been playing golf very long, but I've been playing long enough to know this. When you are playing as poorly as Tiger Woods was before he took this break, you might want to get back into another less high-profile tournament than the Masters. He hasn't won the Masters, guys, in 10 years. In 2014, he had exactly 0 top 20 finishes. He missed 3 cuts. This is not the Tiger Woods that everybody likes to rap it on. This is not the Tiger Woods that was able to buy the Gulfstream jet, okay? So that Tiger Woods needs more time.
Jackie, that Tiger Woods, or the old Tiger Woods, did come into the Masters cold once before in 2010 when he came back from all the troubles that started on that Thanksgiving in 2009. Came in cold, and he finished 4th that year. So there's something to be said about going to courses where he has familiarity. Unfortunately, he tried that at Torrey Pines this year and had the withdrawals. So just being back in familiar grounds where he's had success might not be enough anymore. But it certainly makes sense for him to do this and to modify what Frank was saying.
So you believe that he's also
in order to win a major, you have to play in a major.
Last word page.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the whole point. A famous man once told me, in order to win in majors, you have to play in majors, and he's got to play in this major. The world needs him. The Masters need him. Around the horn needs him. Go play.
Don't you think you'd like to be in good golf shape to play one of these matches?
You guys, your Tiger Woods. We'll move on. Headline 3. Love this story. Finally, to the people that try to make us feel like our season was a failure, go cheer for ASU. Bear down. Frank, did Sean Miller go too far, not too far, just far enough in responding to disappointed Arizona fans?
I think he went a little too far. And as someone who's very conservative in their tweets, I think Sean Miller should have been a little bit more respectful to Arizona State from this regard. Herb Sendek just got fired from that job, so avoid tweeting about your rival if I were Sean Miller.
Mike Mullen?
Not just your rival, Frank, your friend. Do you know that Sendek recruited Miller to Providence College? He didn't end up going there, but he did end up being an assistant on his staff at the Miami, Ohio, and at NC State, and his brother played for Sendek. So there must be something else.
So you think this is a shot at Herb Sendek? I mean, I'm
no.
I
think it might be a shot at ASU for firing Herb Sendek is what I'm wondering.
Don, how about you?
This kind of echoes what he had to say after they lost on Saturday, that they still had a season that they could be proud of. But to take a shot at ASU, a gratuitous shot, that's taking it too far. So, and you really don't want to go after your own fans. It's one thing to stand and support your team for what it accomplished this season, but don't take shots at your own fans.
And Woody, how about you?
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I think he's a good man. He's a good, very, very good coach. But this is the second biggest mistake I think he's made in his life. The first was when he appeared in The Fish Who Saved Pittsburgh with Judas Erving, and he was awful in that movie.
Oh, would you please? Come on,
that was Dave Kaplan.
I'm surprised. I thought you guys would have said all fair in a rivalry like this. An in-state rivalry, all's fair. But no, you think you want to
coach gets fired.
Adonde 6, page 6. I saw the 6, McMullen 9. We've been home. We're taking a break. Flyers still next. Coming up. Thought he was coming back March 14th, March 21st. He's been windmill dunking in practice, according to Roy Hibbert. Why isn't Paul George getting the Pacers in the playoffs right now? And also, here it is, your moment of
and expect our efforts to really take shape as we enter the 2015 draft and free agency in the months ahead.
Stick around.
buy or sell.
Max got a 9. Adonde Page, I still locked in a tight one. It's buy or sell.
Hello, and thank you for being a Knicks season ticket holder.
Hello.
I know this has been a challenging season for our team on the court. We have a clear plan. And expect our efforts to really take shape as we enter the 2016 draft and the free agency in the months ahead.
Oh, yes, the plan is in place, people. Last place. That's where that plan is in place. Jay, buy or sell?
Sell. A plan is in place. Well, that makes you run out and want to buy the most expensive ticket prices in the NBA, doesn't? What is that plan specifically? You know, the 76ers, as much as we mock them, at least they do have a plan. I might disagree with it, but they do have a plan. What's the Knicks plan? How about having a team in place?
Tony, I have a plan. I have a plan to win the show today. I have a plan that after we get through this round, I'm going to be ahead. I think if you just will stick with me, everybody on the panel, you'll see that I have a plan in place.
You know what? It's good. I think you need a little bit more trombone in the voice, Paul.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, pay no attention to Woody and pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. That's how Phil kind of comes across as. But I'll tell you what, when you're 14-60, you got to talk about next season, and they're going to have a first-round pick in June. It's going to be a high pick. They do have money for free agents, so he's smart to put the focus on next season because this year's a disaster.
And is that enough for Knicks season ticket holders? Was that little video enough for them to say, I'm buying into year 2 of Phil, Frank?
You mean the most knowledgeable basketball fans anywhere?
Why do they always say that, by the way?
It's ridiculous.
Jackie Mack, how about you?
I mean, is the plan in place to put us all to sleep? I was thinking, like, you know, for your daughter, Alexandra, she has trouble getting to bed at night. If you're going to get me excited, why would you put it in that? That's like the kind of music I hear when I go to have a massage and I want to close my eyes. I understand what Phil's trying to do, but it sure didn't work for me.
Does this have anything to do with the tweets that went out last week where Frank called you I sold off and McMuffin? Does that have anything to do with this? Very interesting.
That's actually very funny.
We'll move on. Buy or sell too. Paul George. Quote, it's not just me that has to feel good. Everybody has to feel good about it. That's what we're waiting on. It could be close, could be not, but everybody's got to be on the same page with this. Woody, what are you buying about the Pacers here? What should they do with Paul George with a week and a half left of the season?
Well, it sounds like everybody's on the same page except him. Larry Bird said the doctors had cleared him to play. Larry Bird wants him to play, but the issue is he is still dragging that leg a little bit. I wouldn't risk him. He's too valuable a talent to try and get to 8th place and get in the playoffs. No,
Frank?
Wait till next year.
In that clip that you showed, he definitely put on a little bit of weight. He's dragging that leg. I think Larry Bird's a competitive guy, but Larry Bird is also smart. If Paul George isn't ready, he won't play. If he is, he'll be out there playing.
My sources tell me that what's going on in those practices, he's playing pretty well, but he is favoring the leg still. What they're most concerned about is you don't want him to come back and try to do too much. They're not worried about the injury to his leg because that's healed. It's the injury that might be caused by trying to take on too much for a team that's just on the verge of it.
I talked to him about this at the All-Star break, and Paul George said at that time, this was really just about trying to get back and just get a few reps in so that he could get the hoopla and the jitters out of the way and be ready to go full-fledged at the start of next season. So why not bring him back? Just get him on the court, even if it's for a few minutes. There's no revolution.
Jay, while he's trying to get his reps in, excuse me, just spilled water all over the place, very important. While he's trying to get his reps in, the other guys are trying to play for the playoffs. They're not just hanging out, you know.
Right. Playing for an 8th seed. There's not a championship at stake.
Yeah. Clean up an Toni Reali. Buy or sell 3. Tennessee and Rick Barnes. This happened quickly. Not even 48 hours after D. Horn, Tennessee volunteering millions for him to coach in the SEC. Buy or sell, Frank?
Oh, I'm buying. I think he'll do a very good job there. Plus, you know, when he was in Texas, you're a second-class citizen to the football team. At Tennessee, you're second-class to the women's team. I think he'll do a good job.
Jackie Mack?
You know what? The one word I think of when I think of Rick Barnes is stability. He represents your university very well. He has a winning percentage of over 65%. That's what Tennessee needs right now. They need someone that has a clean slate in terms of recruiting and all those sort of things. He's the face they need right now.
Adonde.
Okay, Jackie, as long as Tennessee doesn't need Final Four trips, but he's had better talent in Texas than he's probably able to get in Tennessee. He'll be okay there, but I'm saying he's had better talent in Texas and he didn't win with it, so what's he going to do with Tennessee?
Page.
Tennessee needs to go in a new direction. He's the right man for the job. And for you guys, you all make good points, but you got to realize he doesn't even have to change the monograms on his sheets. He is still at UT. He's gone from the little orange to the big orange.
All right. You know what? The plan was for you to. I'm still trying to clean up here. The plan was for you to be in the lead after Bairstow, and you are. You made the plan work. Adonde, first to go, a mute, a bolt. We'll see him later. Lightning round the champion page, I sold in McMullen. And coming up, you people, with your eyes, you'd see Tiger Airplanes. You see Jay Miz looking a little flabby. We'll talk about that. And later, this puck that ended up in the face of Patrick Nemeth. Two options as far as I see it. He either has to play the rest of the game with it, or the two teams have to play it out. Or... All right, now that we're all dry, McMullen and Page with the lead. I still have some work to do, and Adonde and Michaela Maroney. Jameis Winston Pro Day. Good, not great reviews. He was slim and fit, according to Pewter reports, and then he was flab-shamed when he was shirtless during measurements, according to everybody else on the internet. Woody, what did you make of his Pro Day?
I didn't make much of it at all. He did complete 90.2% of his passes, and that included 6 drops. So the guy was throwing extremely well, particularly in the red zone. I don't think it's ever going to matter about the Pro Day. He's going number 1.
Sola?
Yeah, the idea is to be a good NFL quarterback, not win, Mr. Muscle Beat. And guys like Ben Roethlisberger, they're not svelte, to say the least. So he's still going to be the number 1 pick. I thought he looked pretty good today.
This whole idea of flab shaming, by the way, I mean, this is just ridiculous at this point. When we go back and we look at Tom Brady's combine look as well. Jackie, how about you?
Exactly. So you can't really make any firm accusations or conclusions about that. And everybody that said, I was a little disappointed today, then said, well, he's still going to go number 1. It was a little disappointing today.
So what are we doing?
Who cares if you're still going to go number 1?
And Woody, about his 92% completion percentage against what defenders? Against the Broom?
Good defense.
Well,
yeah, right. You play against who you play against. I got you. Lightning 2, women's Final Four. Number 1s like Zaun, South Carolina, Notre Dame, Maryland, and UConn, who had a first-half deficit against Dayton last night before winning by 21. Frank, do you have the feeling this is another UConn year, or did yesterday and the loss earlier in the year put some intrigue into it?
Another UConn year. How about another UConn century? It's the first time they've been down at halftime in an NCAA tournament game since 2011. It's a little bit of a scare. This will actually help them in the long run, believe it or not.
Mullen?
Absolutely. Dayton, I was impressed with them. They shot 7 for 10 from threes in the first half.
How could you not?
And you knew exactly what was going to happen in the second half, and it did. 3 out of the first 4 times down the floor. You know what happened? They turned the ball over because UConn cranked up that defense.
So you think this will be a good thing as well?
Absolutely.
What do you have about you?
UConn had a 20-3 run at one point in the game, so it wasn't as if this went on for the entire game. But I think to be tested like Kentucky on the male side is good for you going into the Final Four, that you can turn it up and toss it around when it gets tight.
Turn it up and toss it around. That's Woody Page talking some basketball talk right there. Frank Isola next to go with the last word.
I feel like Kris Bryant. You're sending me down, but I really think I can help you guys right now. You'll be hearing...
It's been collectively bargained, Frank. McMullen. Showdown next. Straight ahead, who won the Wiggins-Gobert mano-a-mano, dunk you, block you, hostile takeover? Ford! And they were here. Drinks on me, all right? No more drinking on the job for Reali. Page, McMullen, best of luck to you both. Showdown 1, Wiggins and Gobert. Woody, who won this Wiggy Stifle Tower showdown?
Well, you got to get it up, and then you got to lay him down. So Gobert was the guy. Dunks are dunks, but a facial like that was fantastic.
You know what I loved about it? After Gobert got done, when he did this, after he blocked the dunk, the only thing missing was Marc Gasol ripping his shirt out, doing the Darko like he did against the Kings last night. That would have really been the finishing touch.
All right. I'm going with Woody Page here because, you got to lay it up, you got to throw it down, like you said. So point to Woody Page because that's basketball 101. I think we all know that. Showdown 2. See if we get some hockey in this program. Should this puck that got lodged in Patrick Nemeth's visor, which stars analyst Darryl Ray was quick to point out made him look like a pirate, be forced to stay in the visor for the rest of the game, or should the two teams have to play it out, Jackie?
I think I would like a puck-off in that situation. I'm just not sure how you make it feasibly possible. I guess you'd have to lie down, let it roll out. Yes, a puck-off. That would be the only thing that would make sense here, Woody.
You got to puck it up and put a biscuit in the basket. He should have skated into the nets, and he would have gotten an unassisted goal, although you could give an assist to the goalie, I guess. But that would have won the game, Jackie.
All right. I don't even know what you're saying anymore, Woody Page, but just so it stops, points and FaceTime to Denver. Go ahead, Woody. I think you earned this.
I am so excited to announce today that most of you haven't heard that Bursaspor in Turkey, whose nickname is Crocodiles, has built a 45,000-seat stadium that is shaped, if this were an overhead view, it's shaped like a curling crocodile. I think this could be the beginning of big things. They can bring in Elton John to sing Crocodile Rock at the beginning of the game. Bring in Crocodile Dundee. Or the Florida Gators could pick up on this and do their own stadium that's shaped like a Florida Gator. How about the Diamondbacks? The head lights up, Tony. That's what's exciting at night.
Yeah, it is exciting. What are you talking about today? Although I'll say this, I am totally for every single arena or stadium being shaped like the team's nickname or the mascot. I would love to see the Banana Slugs at Santa Cruz, or the new Madison Square Garden, Frank, shaped like a pair of pants from 1903. That would be a stadium and arena I would like to go to. That's to do it. We're definitely done here. That was 23.5-hour break. We'll see you tomorrow. April Fool's tomorrow. Get ready.
Geico presents Strange Savings Stories. Astronomers detected an interstellar transmission. It stated, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. The implications were staggering. Was the cosmos telling us we could all save hundreds on car insurance with Geico? Or did their radar merely pick up a signal from the nearby Rufus and Clyde's morning show? We may never know.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
ESPN Radio, bringing you directly to the biggest events in sports.
Center field, well hit, Hunter back, out of here!
From opening day of baseball,
throw to the plate, safe at the plate,
right through the World Series.
For the third time in 5 seasons, the San Francisco Giants are the champions of the baseball world.
Whether it's LeBron, Kris Paul, or Kevin Durant, when the NBA tips off, ESPN Radio is right there when a champion is crowned.
Have a new world champion. The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
And when the magic of bowl season arrives, ESPN Radio is your home for the new college football playoff.
The college football playoff first national champion, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
The biggest events in sports can be found right here on ESPN Radio. Two of baseball's best go head-to-head in interleague action when the Tigers head to St. Louis to face the Cardinals.
That one is gone.
The pregame at 7 Eastern, first pitch at 8, Sunday on ESPN and ESPN Radio.